My name is Zahra Nader. I am a third-year PhD student in Women Gender Studies at York University. My research is mainly about, I recently shifted the focus of my research. Earlier it was about women's political history, and I was very interested to see why Afghan women were not a part of writing their own history, and there wasn't a history available for me when I was growing up in post-Taliban Afghanistan. There wasn't any history for me to look back into and to be able to reflect on that situation and understand how my struggle as a woman in Afghanistan was part of a longer struggle that generations before me started, right? For not having that knowledge accessible to us in our own language in Afghanistan affected so much my life. And I wanted my research to fill that gap for another generation, to be able to tell a history from perspective of Afghan women. The way I see it, Western media somehow portrayed Afghan women as the victims. But of course, the women who are fighting daily to get their basic human rights, to be able to go walk out of their home without a male chaperone, I don't see them as a victims. I see them as a fighters, as those who are trying to fight with very basic means that they have available to them. So if we are able as Afghan women to tell our own story, we would be able to tell a more richer narrative, and also a picture that has much more perspective to it than somebody who might just visit Afghanistan for 1 year or 2 years, and also they have their own idea about Afghan women, and sometimes very hard to differentiate between what they perceive of us and what is indeed the reality of our lives. My research is a way to inform this new generation that, hey, life didn't start from 2001 for us. We were living here long before, and women were struggling in Afghanistan long before. It's that not having that information available for us, I think that denied us and also distorted our history, because we didn't know what women before us did in Afghanistan. And that would give us an image of we were always oppressed, that we always were denied our rights. But that was not true. There was period in the Afghanistan history where women were on a high. They were in parliament in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. They were ministers, and women were at least able to dress the way they wanted in cities during the 1970s, 1960s, 1980s. Something that post-Taliban Afghanistan, I wasn't able to dress the way really I wanted. For example, I couldn't walk out without a headscarf in Kabul. So I wanted to really understand what we really had, and how women fighted for those rights, and why are we now denied something that we had in the past, and how can we go forward, and what would be our demands, like how can we really ask for it, because we had it for so long, and now that's denied. And now we are seeing a repetition of history in Afghanistan, that now once again our all basic human rights are denied. So I see the impact of my work to be able to link, to bring that knowledge of where we were and where we are right now, and how can we move forward if this is going to be the circle of repetition, how we can break this circle, how we can move beyond this. And I really hope that my research will be able to provide part of that, just feel part of that gap, helping us to find a perspective of how can we move forward.